Hello, Revere, and welcome to another great Revere Veterans and Community Show. I'm your host, Morris, but I have a special guest. His name is Mr.
BuddyMangini.
Thank you, Buddy. And you are the chairman of the Columbus Day Parade.
I'm the 2016 chairman of the Columbus Day Parade in East Boston, Massachusetts.
And you've been doing this for 50 years.
Yes.
So why don't you take it away and tell us a little about it?
Well, 50 years ago, I started getting active in the community of East Boston, and I worked with a great friend of mine who did lead the Columbus Day Parade for many, many years, Mr. Joe Cohane.
Question. When did it first start in East Boston, if I may ask you? The first, if you,
The exact
approximately.
date, yeah, the exact date, like I said about, it's that, well, I've been active in it for 50 years, so, you know, before that, yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a long time.
So it's been around a long time. And that's actually where I learned a lot about the parade, putting it together, what it stands for, and what we do. And I'm still carrying on. Unfortunately, my friend is not with us anymore, but we're still carrying the torch and leading the parade. And the parade will be on Sunday, October 9th. We start off at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And
Where does it originate from?
that's what I'm going to. And it starts up, coming in on the East Boston side of Suffolk Downs, okay, and we'll be coming out the back street of Wally Street onto Bennington Street. From there, we will follow Bennington Street all the way into Day Square. At Day Square, we will branch out onto Chelsea Street. From Chelsea Street, we will make the bend down around the Meridian Street where the old Shawmut Bank used to be, which is now the Santander Bank. And we will proceed up onto Meridian Street, where there will be the two fire engines with the flag in the center as we'll come under. And just beyond that, at the same side, is the ITAMS building, if you're familiar with it, across directly from the police station and the East Boston Courthouse. And that will be where our reviewing stand will be, and the parade will end shortly thereafter by the Liberty Market Plaza.
How long does the parade last, approximately?
Approximately, this is a good parade, so I suggest to the people to be nice and comfy and everything else to bring their lounge chairs, because we're probably looking right now at about a 3-hour parade.
That's quite a bit.
And we have 4 strong divisions of the parade. We will lead off with the fire engines, because remember in October it is Fire Prevention Month, and we try to coordinate with the city under Fire Prevention Month. They'll be led off by the fire trucks. Behind the fire trucks will be the police cars and emergency vehicles, and behind them will be the antique cars that we have every year under the direction of the Renaissance Lodge of the Sons of Italy, Dean Saluti and Marjorie Cann, and we've had them in Revere too. And we have about 35 to 40 cars, antique cars, that'll be proceeding in the procession. After that, we come to our first division, which is all paramilitary and military bands. We have the Wounded War Veterans coming with their bikes under the direction of Andrew Biggio. We have coming in from Washington, D.C., the United States Air Force Honor Guard and Color Guard that performs for the President of the United States and all visiting dignitaries in Washington. There's approximately 60 of them coming in that morning. Also, which is a new thing this year that we have, if you're familiar with Norwich University up in Norwich, Vermont, okay, we have the color guard, the band, marching unit, and drill team coming all the way in from Norwich, Vermont, which is close to the Canadian border. So looking over the whole geographical map of New England, all the states of New England are represented by different bands from the different states. We got
all 50 of them?
all represented by the New England states, coming in from as far as way by the Canadian border in Vermont to Maine to New Hampshire to Massachusetts, of course, and to Rhode Island and Connecticut. So we have good representation from all the states. We have a lot of military units and color guards coming in along, floats, the Gold Star Mothers, and it's a great, exciting adventure. The first division that leads us off will have the State Police Mounted Patrol horses. We have the Lancers, the guards of the Massachusetts.
Yep.
all different things. So there's something for everybody in the parade, whether we start from the elderly to our middle age, to our seniors, to our youngsters. There's a little bit of everything.
Buddy, I got to tell you, I had the honor, I think it was either with you or to meet the Gold Star Mothers. Are
Yep.
they still going to be on the...
Yes, as far as I know, they're coming. Yeah, they're coming. They're in.
Can I ask you, do you remember the name? I forgot the lady gave me the name of the one I was in charge of it at Revere last year. And
Yeah.
I wrote it down, and being absent-minded, I left it in the Jeep.
Oh, you left it in the Jeep. Someone else gets the information. I think it was Mrs. Sutton, if I remember correctly.
And I think you are correct.
Yeah, I believe it was at that time. Yeah. But like I said, we're all hoping for the great weather because that brings all the units out, and we have some good size and really excellent bands in the parade. We have actually spread out below the 4 divisions. We have probably about 27 matching bands. We have the
That's tremendous.
yeah. We have the Acton Boxborough Band, which is right here in Massachusetts.
Right.
They're coming in. We have the Dartmouth High School Marching Band. They're in. These bands consist of approximately about 185 people marching.
Right on.
With great light. And of course, as we talked a few minutes ago, we have the Shriners coming in all the way from the Aleppo Temple, and they'll be coming in. They make a whole 2nd division. They'll have everything. They'll have the motorcycles, the small cars, the clown unit, the Imperial Guard, the Oriental team, the ragtop team, the Oriental band, floats, and everything. And a lot of new things this year that the Shriners have
Right, buddy.
invested in.
I got to ask you this question. If people want to donate their vehicles to you, can they still do that?
Right. I'm always looking for some convertibles and some drivers, if possible.
And how would they contact you if they wanted to?
They can contact me, and my number, you can put it up there, is 857-615-2549. And anybody that's interested in participating in the parade, please call me by that number. That's my cell number. I have that working all the time, 24/7. If I don't happen to answer, please leave a message, and I will gladly get back to you. If
I know you
anybody has
do. That I know you do.
If anybody has any questions, concerns, or anything, you know, we have a lot of dance studios. As a matter of fact, we have a couple here from Revere. We have the Agnes Strecker Dance School.
Right.
They're going to be participating. They have with us for many, many years.
Revere is a great city to help other cities because the
Right,
other
yep,
cities help us too.
Right.
We do this every other year. We alternate.
Okay. In East Boston, where it's an agreement between the East Boston Committee and the North End Committee that every other year they will share the spotlight. Okay. Last year was the North End. This year it's East Boston. Next year it will be in the North End. The only thing, Boston has their parades on a Sunday. Revere, as they have in the past, okay, which I was glad to put together for the former mayor, and if we have it again this year, I'd look forward to working with new mayor, Brian Arrigo, in putting the parade together. Their parade is always on a Monday. The city of Boston does it on a Sunday, and Revere does it on a Monday. A lot of communities have different days on doing it.
Right. And Columbus Day is also always celebrated on the 2nd Monday of the month, usually.
It's celebrated actually the closest to the day of October 12th.
Oh.
However October 12th follows, we use that weekend, okay, to do the parade. It could follow a few days before that. It could follow a few days after that. But that's when we get the parade, the closest day to the 12th of October.
That's good to know.
And that's an agreement that has been worked out well over the city, and it works out good. Like I was talking to the city today, and this Sunday is the Rosendale Parade over in Rosendale in Massachusetts. There's different cities have different parades for different events. So it's the Rosendale Parade over there. It's not as large as ours, but it's a very nice, put-together, organized parade.
And let me ask you, the head of the Veterans of Massachusetts, Francisco Urena.
Francesco Urena will be with us that day. Yep.
I met him.
As you know, everybody knows he's a former Marine.
Right.
He enjoyed 1 year, the first year actually that he was in East Boston. He rode a tank, and he was coming down the street in one of those serpentine tanks. And actually, 2 years ago, we honored Francesco as our Veteran of the Year. So,
That's very good.
So, yeah.
And
He's
I
a
had
fine
to-
gentleman, does a lot for veterans, and really works hard.
And I had the honor of riding in a Jeep
That's right.
with the
And
machine gun.
With the machine gun. Now,
But
we
you
hope-
wouldn't load it for me.
No, we'll make sure we give you a couple of blanks this time. Okay. Blanks, did you notice I said
Yep,
blanks?
yep.
Because I'd be dangerous with a gun too, I'll be honest with you.
Right. Now, you know, out of the 50 states, I'm wondering why one state, and I got to mention that state, South Dakota, does not celebrate Columbus Day, but they use Native American in its place. What reason could they possibly have for that?
That I don't know. It's just that they believe, you know, the American Indians were the ones that discovered America, and were first on the lines. But you know, but we don't get involved in that controversy because that controversy just creates more and more controversy. And other groups, we respect everybody's opinion and all that, but we don't get involved with, you know, other groups that may have a yes or a no for this or that. We just want a parade that the people enjoy it.
Right.
They're happy to be there, and that's how we do. So we're fair to all, and we wish everybody lots of luck in whatever their endeavors may be.
Let me ask you this here. Do you have what, like before you have the official parade with the bands or music, do you have like a rehearsal in any sense of
No,
it?
no.
In other words, that's what you
it's
see?
They come early, they start their formation, and they're practicing or changing, putting in the uniforms. Some carry partly with the uniforms, and the rest are on trucks that have to come afterwards. The hardest part of that in getting bands, people think that the bands, at one time they thought that the bands, that they pay us. No, we have to pay the bands, and I'm going to be honest with you, most of the cost of the money has risen drastically. Okay, that comes from the bus companies. The transportation is the biggest problem money-wise for the schools to transport the bands. By the time they pay for the cost of the vehicles that have to come, the buses or whatever they're using, and pay the cost of that, there's not too much left over for the poor students of the bands of the schools. Most of it is
But
eating
the
up.
schools pay for it themselves to transfer them down there?
They do, but then
Wow.
we have to pay them, you know, a gratuity for coming. But
Oh.
I'm saying by the time that they get their portion of the cut after the bus companies have got it, it's a very low cost for the bands that they have left for themselves to put into their treasury to buy more uniforms, instruments, things that may as a cost to the band to keep up the upkeep.
By the way, since you've been with them 50 years, what are some of the great people you've had on your parade?
I've met all of them. I've met all the Kennedys, from the President of the United States,
John F.?
John F. Yep. At the time that I met him, that he was in the parade in East Boston, he was running for the Senate.
Senate, right. I remember him
Yeah,
coming down Shirley Avenue when we
Yeah,
had the drugstores there.
Yep, yep. He was in the parade. I've met George Bush Sr. Okay, he's been in one of our parades way back when he was running for office. I've met a lot of dignitaries, great congressmen, senators.
Markey?
Yes, Markey was there. Actually, Markey was.
Kerry?
Yes, Markey and Kerry, when they were first
Right.
running, they were
Yep.
in the parade. Elizabeth Warren. Okay, I've met her.
Now I got to ask you this question. Elizabeth Warren, she is part Indian?
I don't really know what her affiliation is.
But she is a great American. I love her.
Yeah. I don't really know what her affiliation was, and I don't like to say something that I'm not too sure of, because
Oh.
sometimes it comes back and hits you.
No.
You know?
But she
Just
is
as
a
a pun.
terrific.
Yes, yeah,
She's great for the Commonwealth of
Oh, yeah,
Massachusetts.
yeah,
Great senator.
Yep. I've met, who's been on numerous parades, is Governor Charlie Baker, Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito.
I've had them on. Well, I've
Yeah.
had Karen Polito on TV. She's a beautiful lady.
Yeah, I've met Mitt Romney when he was governor. He was there at the parade. I've really met them all, I'll tell you the truth.
Any good ball players from the Boston Red Sox?
No, not that. But a lot of political people, and they're very, very nice, and they love to come to East Boston and also to Revere, because they're treated very, very nicely. Home, they're felt welcome. And
Right.
That's what it is. You don't want to turn them off of that, you know. And then when it comes up again, they say, yes, I would like to participate.
Well,
is there an open spot for me?
I've lived in Revere for 60 68 years to be exact. And let me tell you, I find Revere to be the best city in the Commonwealth. I know you're going to say, no, it's East Boston, but I got to be honest with you. I find Revere to be the best city in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, they're very nice people here. I get along with...
They have open arms to everyone that comes in here.
I'm telling you, doing the parade here when I did, I enjoyed working with the people of the community, the East Boston Chamber of Commerce, the mayor's staff, and all the people within the Public Works Department and other things, the fire department, the police chief. They all made us feel welcome and our job easier. So that really means a lot, and I have to say thank you to them for the help, and I look forward to working with them for many, many years.
By the way, we have a great police department in the city of Revere. Chief Caffarelli, I think,
Right,
is
he's
great.
doing an excellent job.
Right. East Boston, when you have the parade, are the police out there?
Oh yeah, they're right there from the top of the ranks, to the police commissioner, to all his...
Who is the police commissioner?
Paul Evans, Police Commissioner Evans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And he's done a good job in the situations that's all around the country today that's going on. So, but like I said, that's what it is. That's the whole synopsis. And also, we will have this year, we'll have a big contingent from the Sons of Italy, the Grand Lodge. Okay, we'll have leading the Grand Lodge divisions. We'll have the new president of the Grand Lodge, Antonio Sicisto, I'm sorry, will be there along with his team of officers, and also a special thing this year along with the Italian Council that will be there from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and also this year we will have, who's going to be in the area and will be joining us, will be the international president of the Order of the Sons of Italy from Baltimore. And you don't get too many of those big executives
right.
and dignitaries that come in, but he's going to be with us for the weekend.
boy, you do a great job, buddy.
So he'll be with
that
us.
group together.
Yeah, so we're all combining everything and working together. We'll have, like I said, we have a great band coming in, a Caribbean band from Trinidad.
Oh, I love the music.
Yeah, and we
That's
thank,
the reggae music?
Yeah. And we thank the Consul General of Trinidad for having the supporting us and bringing the band in. So there was the colorful costumes and big feathers and
It's
all
almost
that.
like a carnival.
Yeah. But it's a joyful thing. We have a lot of nice floats coming in for the different organizations. We have, for the youngsters, we have Ronald McDonald coming in from McDonald's. We also have, I don't know if you've seen it, the Polo Campero restaurants. They're a chain. There's one in East Boston, and there's a big duck, a big chicken rather, okay, in a costume. We'll have Santa Claus on the float, decorated, and all his puppets all around him and all that.
You mean Santa Claus is coming early this year?
He's coming early this year. Don't bring any snow, we said.
No, because he's going to be the real Santa Claus.
Right.
Yeah, because every Christmas I see one or two and I get confused.
And hopefully the weather will be good, and we will be having the Batmobile with Batman and Robin, thanks to the East Boston Savings Bank.
I got to ask you, is that the real Batmobile?
That's the real one. Look at it. Yeah.
The one that used to be on TV?
That's right. That's the one. Yep. That's why it can only come out in good weather. They don't bring it out in rain or inclement weather because, you know, it's so valuable piece of...
No, I got to ask you, what you mentioned to me is really, really great. How can you, do you have anything that you can improve on that? Coming up?
What we do, we try to improve, as I said, we're every other year, so we try to improve what we can. And sometimes what I usually do when it's our turn, during the course of the year, you know, that we're working, putting it together, I travel around the community and even out of state looking for different units that we may see and say, geez, that's an attractive unit. Why don't I try? Would you be interested? Give them an application. Speak to them. Say, would they be interested in participating? And that's how...
Even out of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
Oh, yeah. I've gone
Tell
to
us
Rhode
where you've been. Tell some of the places.
I've gone to Canada. I've gone to Maine. I've gone to Rhode Island, Connecticut, Washington, all over. I look for where they're marching today and what band it is and where they're going and that, yeah.
Did you ever think to try to get Macy's to give you those big...
Yeah, the only situation with that's me, don't worry about it, it's going to go on. The only thing in regard to that, that's an excellent piece, but what we have to deal with here is because all the wires are up and there's tree branches, and you need to make sure that that can go under that and not get caught up there where it could be a lot of...
So in other words, if they did give you these, you would might have to change your route.
That's right. You'd have to be, we have a lot of wires. They're not underground as they are in other cities and states, okay? So we have to be careful of the height of the wires and everything, that they won't caught, because you get caught in the wires, it's going to blow the balloon and everything, and accidents can happen. But we've had a couple. One year we had we had the the Valvoline oil.
Yep.
Okay. They had a float in the parade. Yeah, the big balloon. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have any, what you were just talking about, have any of the balloons burst on you during the parade?
No, not us, not us.
No, but Macy's has.
But other communities that have had them, like States and Macy's, they've had some issues, okay? And it all depends on the weather that day, the wind and different things. That all focuses in on the plan.
Buddy, if I may, can I give you just which I got off the computer here.
Sure.
I finally learned how to work this.
You're better than I am.
No,
if you
I had
learn.
curly black hair when I started, buddy. Curly black
I don't have
hair.
any.
I'm bald too now. By the way, I didn't know that, so I was just wanted to get a little history of the computer.
Sure.
So it says on the computer, I guess Columbus here came 1492.
Correct.
So it says on 400th anniversary, President Benjamin Harrison issued the first official proclamation to celebrate Columbus Day, which was nice. So all before that time, nobody ever did it. Colorado, believe it or not, was the first state to celebrate Columbus Day.
Celebrate it, right? Okay.
South
that's very
Dakota,
interesting.
South Dakota, you got to listen. You got to fall in place with the rest of the 49 states. So we'd like to see you celebrate Columbus Day too. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt made Columbus Day an observance holiday in 1937. And President Richard Nixon in 1972, by a presidential proclamation, made Columbus Day official. So that's a brief history of Columbus Day.
Very good, very interesting. Yeah.
It is. But I didn't know that's the only state in the Union, well, according to this, that's not... So, but they do celebrate Native American Day,
right.
Which is, we should honor the Indians. After all,
yeah.
They were the ones that helped us with Thanksgiving. They
Yeah,
treated,
that's right. Yeah.
Without them, there would be no Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's right.
So, buddy, we got about 5 minutes left. So I
Okay.
want to give you at least 4 minutes and 59 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, that's about it.
All right.
If you had a chance to go look ahead in the future for parades, whether it be Columbus Day or, what would you do if you could just visualize the future on parades? Because you're a great organizer.
Where you mean, where I would like to visit and see some parades?
Yeah, but I got to say one thing to you that bothers me. How do you get so the traffic is not tied up to coordinate that the whole streets are not blocked so people can
That's
go?
where the police department comes in. And that's their contribution to the parade,
Oh.
to make sure that everything flows the right way. Certain sections are, blocked off. They're giving people time if they live in the areas where the streets may be blocked off. Give them time to remove their car or put it in the driveway or whatever they can do, so that the streets would be cleared. Definitely, all the main streets for the units to get by in East Boston have to be cleared, and they're cleared the latter part of the morning. We don't want them people to coming out at 7 o'clock, or 6 o'clock. They have to get up early to move their car or anything, but they are. And those that aren't moved, and if they're blocking the route, unfortunately are towed, and they're towed to one of the local garages, but when we don't charge them, okay? The city makes sure that they're
In other words, you don't penalize them for the towing?
No, we don't really. Unless it's a serious thing, you're blocking a fire hydrant or a crosswalk or
Right.
something like that, there is a violation. But just to move the car, we try to be fair to the people. But we post all our signs, events coming, no parking here from such and such time, and we post that 3 days in advance of the event.
Oh.
So the city posts them on the poles and everything else, so the people know.
Right. Could you just reiterate the time, the date and time again
Okay.
for the people that tuned in late?
Sure. The parade is on Sunday, October 9th, and it begins at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when we step off first.
And
It's probably about a 3-hour parade, so I would suggest that you bring a lounge chair or a comfortable chair to sit and relax, and it's a long time to stand on your feet.
are all those vehicles going to start out of Suffolk Downs?
Everything, well, yes, everything starts out of Suffolk Downs, yeah. The back end of Suffolk Downs on the East Boston side.
So the whole 3-hour parade will eventually come out of Suffolk Downs?
You got it, you got it. For many, many years before, when we didn't have Suffolk Downs, we had a farm in on Bennington Street, and our formation went all the way back past the VFW in Revere to the Revere line, just to go way back to have the room. And it
That
was
where
hard.
the Beachmont VFW is? All the way down?
That's right. We used to have to extend all the way down right to
Wow.
the Revere line.
That must have tied up traffic.
Oh yeah,
brutally.
because then Revere has to get involved with moving the traffic and everything else, and we were on the street, and you can't be moving traffic with units and people crossing streets and everything else. So this was thanks to Suffolk Downs. This was their contribution to and help to let us use some
Buddy,
portions
we
of
got
their
about
lot.
a few minutes left. Take 1 minute off and tell people if they want to donate a vehicle to give them your phone number again.
Yeah, again-
Just one more time.
Yep. If anybody wants any information in regard to the parade or needs any time or concerns about it, please feel free to call me. I'm at 857-615-2549. I look forward to talking with you and hearing your concerns. Please, we don't turn anybody off. We listen, because sometimes some people that do call in, they call in with great ideas. And
You're
maybe
right.
we couldn't use it this year, but that doesn't mean we can't use it another year from now. And I just want to close here. I have what we do here in East Boston before the parade, leading up to the parade. We have a list of activities that are going on almost every day in the community for different things. And we ask the people to take a look and participate. They may say things that that they
Would you
like to
post
attend.
that on television?
Yep, I would like to post that on television and giving you a copy if you could. And also down here on Sunday before the parade, in the morning of the parade, we have our traditional breakfast at Spinelli's here in East Boston, where we thank our supporters and our benefactors that helped us put it all together. And I am extending my arm out to the city of Revere, to the mayor, the councilors, and the school committee people to come and break bread with us that morning at Spinelli's, and our doors will open at 7:30. We'll eat at 8 o'clock and probably have to leave around 10 o'clock, 10:15 to head to the parade grounds.
Right,
So-
buddy. I want to say a million thanks for coming down.
And I thank you for giving me the
Give me-
time to explain everything. You're a fine man. You've done a lot for the community and that.
Thank
and
you.
the community is proud that you're one of their own.
Right,
and
buddy.
thank you again for the invitation, Morris.
God bless you, buddy. I hope we do this again next year. I really do.
All
I
right,
want
you're
to say
welcome. I
thank
look
you.
forward to it.
Okay. God bless our troops and our military wherever they are.
Right.
People of Revere, but most of all, our great country, the United States of America. And again, I'd like to say, let's keep the Pledge of Allegiance in the schools and in public places. Thank you all
Okay.
for listening.
Thank you. Thank you.